What's up, everybody? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing one more time. Sounds like everything is coming in clear, loud and clear. What's going on, everybody? We've got a packed episode tonight. My name is Where's Barry. Welcome to the RPD. And today we are going to talk about all the new Resident Evil 3 screenshots and everything that came out the other day. If you guys enjoy the stream, be sure to click on the thumbs up if you enjoy it, and you're not subscribed, make sure you click on the subscribe if you want to support the channel. Join with the membership, the Zom Squad. Testing. Are you sure you hear an echo? Does anybody besides Chris hear an echo? All right. So yeah, in the chat, we're going to have a lot of people in watch this show. So try to stay on topic from what's on the screen. That way I can pull out different chats and read them out loud and maybe comment on them. So when we're talking about, like, don't just ask me where Resident Evil 4 Remake is over and over, or where are the crows if we're not talking about that stuff. Anyway, so packed show. Let's get started. Let's get a little bit closer. All right, let's see. How do we work this? It's been a while. It's been a little while. Capcom has not released any news since basically December, because that's when the last trailer came out. In between then and now, there's been one article on PlayStation Magazine, which was completely incorrect. The author was completely wrong, put his own opinions in there, wrote it terribly. It was just, oh man, it was horrible. And then they put a retraction, what the newspaper would call a retraction, where you say, whoops, we made a mistake. Here's what the real, instead of saying they made a mistake, they just doubled down on some of the wrong items and corrected the one item that everybody knew was wrong, that the Resistance is not canon. And then basically it sounded like they were blaming us for getting all worked up over their wrong information. And they didn't apologize or say that they were wrong, which is super annoying. So that article doesn't count at all, and then we'll talk about even another thing that the author doubled down on that is possibly not going to come true. You can follow on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, so make sure you're following on there. I post different things that aren't on YouTube, and a lot of videos are actually being posted to social media that you will not find on YouTube, so do that. Zom Squad, that helps me keep doing shows like this, because it took me like 6 hours just to do this show. So it's a lot of time I could be spending on other paying jobs. So if you want to support, that's awesome. If not, just comments are awesome, and thumbs up, stuff like that. Something is coming tomorrow. So that is where we're at now. Let's look at why something is coming tomorrow. So gamergen.com. So this is a French website. They cover Xbox and PlayStation and stuff like that. And somebody discovered on their website that they posted 2 new screenshots that were for Resident Evil 3. The first screenshot is Jill in a burning building, and I actually been looking at this for 2 days. I didn't even notice Nemesis is right there. Did you guys even see Nemesis there? And the second screenshot was this really awesome one, which is actually, I don't have it up now, but it looks a lot like the final boss Tyrant that Leon fights. Tyrant's on fire. I mean, this is kind of a type of Tyrant, but it's very similar to that. And just some quick, we're not going to really analyze this screenshot too much, but you can see there's some grenade rounds, so the grenade launcher's in it. There's that red can, which could be something that explodes. when you shoot, and then he's got, I think that might be his flamethrower in his hand, but I don't know. It looks kind of weird. And no, resistance is not canon. That's what the article was all about. Anyway, let's check out, just real quick, wanted to show you some of the things you might not remember from RE3. If you saw this video, it's only a minute long, but let's check that. So there's all those different types of shootable environments in the original game. That's why I thought that red can might have been that. So anyway, we're not going to go into the old Resident Evil 3 today. We've got too much new stuff. But here's what the file name was called on those 2 leaked screenshots. And you can see it says EMB, which probably stands for embargo, which means the embargo date is the date you can start talking about things if you're the media. And it was February 25th, which is tomorrow. So something is coming tomorrow. Now, the plot thickens because some clever person. I actually tried it myself and I failed. I typed in because basically the images. One said it was image 1, the other said it was image 14. So I started typing in 2, 3, 4. I tried a basic way to see if maybe they loaded them all. And it turns out they did. I couldn't figure it out, but someone on Reddit did. So somebody on Reddit went into the GamerGen just URLs and found the hidden screenshots. So tomorrow, Capcom was supposed to release in the media all the new screenshots, but they came out 2 days ago because somebody found them on this website. And then IGN, of course, writes an article like, 14 hours later. They don't say it was found on Reddit. They credit some dude who didn't break any news at all. And then they said in their article, so IGN has all these photos already. They're going to release them tomorrow. And in their article, they pretend like they don't have the images. They're like, these might be fake. And I was just like, they might be fake. Are you serious? And I don't know why IGN's allowed to share, even though they leaked. Why is IGN allowed to share them? Residents of Evil, last year during Resident Evil 2 Remake, there was a picture of Ada that came out about 2 days early. Basically the same thing. One picture of Ada. And I believe they got a copyright strike from Capcom because they showed that picture in a video. And they're just a YouTube channel. Meanwhile, IGN shared all the photos. But they were like, it's not us. See, it's GamerGen. But if you think about it, they shared photos that they had. Anyway, so that's, if you looked at my channel, there's no video on these screenshots because I'm worried about that. And I don't know, Resident Evil, they finally posted one today after this came out. So maybe they were waiting for that, or I feel like I don't know. They got a strike last time, and then they sent me a message to tell me to take my video down. So shout out to Resident Evil for being cool last year and keeping me from getting a strike. I don't know if they were trying to send a message or I don't know. But the next day or whatever, the Ada picture came out anyway. Whatever. We won't get back into that. So here's GamerGen's website today. So there's 2 tiers of media that Capcom deals with. The first tier are your IGNs, your Famitsu. Those are like the main ones. They might even get even more access. And then there's all these other websites, and some of them you wonder, like, why is Capcom giving these people access to the game? This is a French website, so maybe it's big in France and they get a lot of viewers in France or whatever. But you know, they get all this stuff, and then the second tier is like me, where they like, hey, here's the trailer, but we already posted it 5 seconds ago. So they they send me the screenshots and the trailer and everything, but it's like at the same time. It's not like early or anything. But they send these people them early, and they trust them. And every freaking time someone leaks the game, someone leaks the screenshot, and it's I don't know if there's any repercussions. They took their site down themselves, but Capcom will probably still send them a game early to play or whatever. That's another beef I have with all the screenshots that some of these sites that they send are not trustworthy at all. I don't know anything about this. Maybe it was an accident, but why would they post 2 photos early? Like they accidentally posted 2 photos? Seems a little fishy to me. But I don't know anything about that website. All right, so let's start to go over the screens. Now today's episode has 70 to 90 slides, which is a lot of content. So let's keep going. And yeah, before I forget, actually, just remind me to talk about the demo at the end of the thing, because I didn't have time to finish. I swear I worked. It just took forever to come up with this, and there's so much stuff I left out. But good news, we'll do another episode of this tomorrow, because tomorrow a trailer or something might come out. So anyway, yeah, let's talk about that before we look at the screens. So with Resident Evil 2 and 7, that's what I keep looking at. And the thing I'm looking at is the Liquor trailer for Resident Evil 2. And when that came out on the day of the screenshots, Capcom released them, and then 2 days later they released a trailer. And it was a gameplay trailer, not like a trailer, so it was just gameplay of the Liquor. So a possibility is tomorrow they release the screenshots officially, and then 2 days later they release the trailer, or they might release the trailer as well tomorrow. So anyway, you know, stay posted to the online. There might be stuff. The other things to look out for tomorrow: IGN article with their own gameplay. If they play the Nemesis versus Jill portion, they will have different gameplay than maybe Famitsu. There might be 3-4 different gameplays going around, the same level but different gameplays, so they might uncover different things. And all this is just guesses based on the past. Worst case, I think we get screenshots tomorrow, but it feels like the screenshots actually even come from a trailer, not just a gameplay. And the trailer probably would be called Enemies and Locations, because they're all about the enemies and locations. So we might get gameplay, we might get a trailer. I don't think we'll get a demo. I think the demo would be later down the road. But the demo that we do get later down the road might be the gameplay that we see tomorrow. So let's say tomorrow you wake up and IGN has a video and they just played Resident Evil 3. 10 minutes of gameplay, Resident Evil 3. And it's 2 guys who went on Twitter 5 seconds before and looked at all the Resident Evil channels to remember what Resident Evil was and learn about it. And they're playing it for 10 minutes, and that is kind of what I'm thinking we'll get tomorrow. But that gameplay might be Jill versus Nemesis, and that might be the demo we end up getting in the end. But who knows? That's just a thought. Yeah, anyway. So let me just check in with the chat real quick. Let's see. So how have you guys? I'm guessing you've all seen the screens already. How good do you think the screens were? Did they give away too much? Did they not give away enough? Or were they just like the perfect amount of screens? Because for 2 months, everybody's been complaining. Hey, Capcom, where's the gameplay? Which we still don't have. Hey, Capcom, where's the news? They're not even anything. They were like throwing us little pieces. Here's some clip art, or not clip art. What's it called? Concept art. Here's clip art. Here's Clippy the clipboard. Here's some concept art. Here's a screenshot of a wall. And everyone was starting to get antsy, and a lot of negativity was building up, and it's like, come on, man. Exodus says it's kind of a lot, so it must be from a trailer, something big. Captain Jabber says it's fine, just want gameplay footage or at least another trailer. Bull Rider said they're appetizers. Bane says piece by piece. All right, now let's take a look at the screens that we got. Also, give me your feedback when this is over. Oh, by the way, thanks, Bill. Let's see what Bill had to say before we move on. Sorry, Bill, I missed you there. Thanks in advance for the work you put into it. I appreciate it. Bill with the $10 super chat and Steven with the $15. I like how we have more enemies than what we had in RE2. Yeah, RE2 was kind of a basic thing, and the way I see it, RE7 was like kind of the foundation of the whole new engine, obviously, because that was the first game. They improved on it a little and changed things up in Resident Evil 2 Remake, and now with 3 Remake, they can even take that engine and even build on it more. And I think we'll have, it looks like we'll have maybe a few more enemies than we did in the original one. So this is the first screen here, and it's just Jill out in the city. And I don't know that we've seen this corner. There's a new sign called Hog Heaven and a new sign called Party Stage. Not sure exactly what those would be. We've got this picture here, which comes from what looks to be the substation. You see the high voltage there, and you see that thing in the corner over there. And let's go full screen. I got to add the microphone to full screen. Hold on one second. All right, you should be able to hear me now. And that thing right there is possibly this, which is from the original game. So you've got the thing over in the corner is where you turn it on, and that's where you do the party. Oh my God, that Nemesis actually jump scared me above me. And so I think that's what this is. It's, you know, they in Resident Evil 2 Remake, they changed up the puzzles a bit. And they might change up the puzzles but keep some of the essence the same, and hopefully they add some new puzzles and stuff like that. Brett says the graphics are looking better than 2. So 3 kind of updated 2, like it's kind of mirroring the original, like 2 and 3. The 3 graphics were like, you know, just a touch up. What's the growth on the fence? Well, we'll probably see that here in a minute. But yeah, things are growing in this electrical substation, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. Here's the pharmacy right up there, the pharmacy from the original game. This is the entrance to the pharmacy back in the day, and this is the entrance to the pharmacy now. And if you'll notice, the enemies are clipping in the wall, and there's all sorts of bugs and crap in this old version. So when people are like, the new one has issues, like the old one had even more issues. So that's just the funniest thing I've ever heard, especially when in the original game you can kill Nemesis every time by making him get stuck on a wall, and he runs like this into the wall. Anyway, we won't talk about that in this one. All right, we've got this screen here, which I thought was the water puzzle because, I don't know, maybe an updated version. But people in the chat, you guys are awesome. And now I kind of agree with you that it's probably this scene here where Jill is looking at Nikolai up in the helicopter out the window. It just really reminds me of this part right here. Looks to be in the subway station, or I believe there's a subway map. We'll take a look at the map here in a minute. This is just a screen from the subway station. This looks to be, I'm not sure what the rest of these things are here, but here's one. There's the stairway up, stairway to heaven, and then this one where there's a shotgun in that locked case there, but it should be no problem for the Master of Unlocking to get to. Here's the map, so I just wanted to pull up the map real quick because they showed us the pharmacy, at least the entrance. They showed us these interiors of some different levels. So let's see. So Dr. Bard, we talked about him before. So the Redstone Street Station, that's the subway we've seen. But then you've got up here, you've got the subway offices. So that might be a different building, and the subway might be its own building. So actually right there, and it's right next to the pharmacy there. So that could be 2 different buildings that you can go in over there. Everything else seemed to be, the press office was probably one of those screenshots back there, and then What they're not showing us is this top part. Nothing in the trailer is showing anything like that. And yeah, and people are like, oh, maybe they shortened the game because we haven't seen anything from the clock tower or from the end. Well, that screenshot right there, everybody thinks is from the end. So maybe they finally did show us stuff from that side. But that I was like, don't worry, they're not going to show too much in the beginning, and they've really been taking it slow with this, so that's cool. All right. Moving along, let's talk about Nemesis. We've got a bunch of new screens for Nemesis here. And while we're going through this, leave your opinions on Nemesis. You can leave your trash bag and nose jokes, somewhere else. But I'll expect to see 100 of them anyway. You got Jill here versus Nemesis. And we've already seen Nemesis, but so I just noticed this looking here now. But yeah, there's a bunch of dead civilians on the ground behind him. And this looks like it's just out in the city somewhere. So the city area, and that might even be the toy store there. The city area, there's a lot of different screenshots and angles, but looking at them all together, it still doesn't seem like it's a lot of areas. And actually, I want to go back to the map real quick and kind of see. So here's the RPD, and see all the X's everywhere. Like, there might be a couple entrance, different ways you could go, maybe in a circle, but a lot of it's going to be like Silent Hill and the original game where everything's blocked by road or cars or barriers or something like that. And I think the exterior sections are going to be very linear. Maybe they'll open it up a little more, but it doesn't really look like that. And the developers early in the one interview that they did mentioned it's not an open world game. That might even been in the PlayStation article that I don't believe, but that was a quote from Fabiano, so those were true. The quotes that he said were real, so those are the only things I believe from that article. You've got him here. Is this now? I don't even. This is his flamethrower, I guess, about to light up. Here's him at the and then these. Oh yeah, this is just him at the substation. You can see these nests up here. We saw those before the previous time. We already showed you that. This one's pretty cool looking one, but this looks like it's from that trailer where he's like, ah. And then this one, I don't know what he's doing. He's got his hand out like this. Like, I don't know maybe he's about to grab her or something like that. I have no idea. But again, these are kind of just cool shots of Nemesis, but they're not really revealing anything. And maybe you guys tell me, in each of these screenshots with Jill, she's holding different guns, but it's mainly the shotgun and the square. I call it the square hand gun, not her stars gun. The whatever the square one is, the rectangular boxy one is. And Bull Rider says he's probably gonna tentacle here. Like, yeah, he might be doing that, definitely. But yeah, so take a look, especially tomorrow today these screenshots are small and blurry. Tomorrow they'll be released at full size, and we'll be able to see things more clearly. But I don't know that we'll discover much more. What was it? Oh yeah, so in each one of these she has a gun, and we know the guns have upgrades, but I didn't notice anything. It just looked the same in every single one. So if you guys have any info on the guns, or if you've seen an upgrade or something, let me know. And about her stars gun, we talked about this in a previous episode. My theory is that she's going to go try to find her. So basically, Jill was suspended from the police force because Umbrella made them do it, because she's going to tell on Umbrella or something like that. Basically, they took away her gun and badge, so she's either going to find her gun later in the game because they took it, or she's going to have Kendo maybe make her a gun, or she's going to pick it up from Kendo. And we've seen a screenshot of Jill and Kendo that should be from the game. And that's funny that was, December, and people forget about that screenshot. But Kendo and Jill are going to meet in Resident Evil 3 Remake, which is pretty cool. And then I just put together all the old shots too, just to kind of, keep the Nemesis theme rolling. Some of these are screenshots. Some are just from the trailer. The tentacle. He's got that tentacle there, but yeah, his hand's out. I guess it comes down from under there. Yeah, we haven't seen him fire the rocket in a video or something, so that would be pretty cool if they did that. And we were all predicting when we heard that Nemesis had a flamethrower and we knew he was going to have the rocket that he would have multiple weapons, but so far he did not. We did not see any of that stuff, so we're not sure. A lot of people were guessing maybe he'll have a minigun or some other thing, so maybe we'll find that out at some point soon, or maybe he won't have many extra weapons. And we will eventually get to all the screenshots, not just the ones that you want to see right when you pop into the chat. So stay tuned. More screenshots to come. Concept art. Some new concept art came out. I don't really get too excited about concept art, but I just wanted to kind of show it. This is what they've been showing us. Like, everybody was complaining, like, Capcom, you're not showing us anything. And I think the social media team was getting angry, or getting annoyed. So they're like, come on, bosses, can we release something? And they're like, yeah, here's some concept art. So this one, he looks like the regular Tyrant. This one we saw in the trailer. This actually became something. This is what happens in this concept art. Is Nemesis was, he's in there, and now he's destroyed all the people in there. And, yeah. So these aren't actually from the game, but this scene is kind of in the game. We saw that. And then this one's disgusting. This old Nemesis, when they had hair on his face. I don't think he has that now. And then the really, really trash-bagged up Nemesis there is another. But these are all concept art, so some things from them will come true and others won't. And then this is new concept art. So this is Nemesis. This is part of the screenshots that came from that GamerGen site. So these were not supposed to be released till tomorrow. And I'm sure that Famitsu magazine and even maybe what's Japan? Japan's ahead of us, so I'm even gonna start checking Famitsu, after this is over and tonight, before the end of the night, to see if maybe Famitsu posts stuff early. Again, like I'm like excited that maybe we'll just get some more information tomorrow. And I think it's all going to tie around the screenshots we're seeing, so maybe no huge new things outside of the huge new things we saw yesterday and we'll see today. But, yeah, gameplay would be awesome if they show that. And then this is everybody's favorite picture here. And, again, this is the low-quality version, so hopefully a higher-quality version will come out tomorrow. But I think a lot of people want this as their wallpaper. People have already been asking if I could turn it into wallpaper, and I'm like, let's just wait for the bigger one. But I'm assuming you guys love this shot here. I really like it. Look at all the zombies, too. There's, like, this is really cool shot. Like, this would be an awesome cover for it, and I say a lot. I apologize. I'm going to try to stop saying that, but I'll probably say it 100 more times today. Yeah, I really like this shot here. It's really cool. Golden Freak said that's not his favorite pick. What? Brett says fantastic pick. Juan says cinematic shot. Devastator says pretty dope. And here's some more screenshots, and I think a lot of people would wish Jill would have turned out like this. There's a lot of people that are like every day they're like, Jill needs to have a... So basically, there's this group of Resident Evil, or maybe I don't even know if they're Resident Evil fans. They want Jill's upper body to be so large, if you get what I'm saying, that she can't stand up and she tips over. And so when she's trying to fight, she just tips over. And when she tips over, she's wearing a skirt in their fantasies. The skirt flies over. They want that to be in the video game. They want to see like. That weird stuff. They're the people that go play Resident Evil 4 with the sniper rifle and then climb under the ladder and then look up at Ashley. Like those people, like they really want like some stuff. But I try to tell them like if you go outside, there's like ladies out there, different shapes and sizes, and they're beautiful. And here's the best part about the ones outside: they're real. Anyway, so. rant over about that. I think the new Jill looks cool. And guess what? We also get her original costume. So not sure what the complaints are about on that.
Welcome to the family, son.
Which is kind of silly. I mean, you have to press one button and to switch costumes, probably. And yeah, Jewel of Oth is probably cool, but she's also not an 18-year-old, and she's 20 years older than she was when she was the original person, and probably costs more money. And Capcom's changing everything, so boom. And here's Carlos. You can see like they really wanted to make sure that he had, he looked scruffy and messed up. That seemed to be their original. I love this Jill here, and I love this Carlos here, like better than the ones that they went with. But obviously these are cartoon drawings, so you can't exactly capture that into a game. But I think those two concept art things are pretty cool. But that's almost like a different style than the video game, so it's just like maybe like a cool kind of art piece type of thing. And then here are the other characters. We got Dario, Nikolai, Mikhail, Patch, Tyrell, Murphy, and B-Rad. And I wonder if over to the right, maybe there's Barry standing there and Kendo standing there, and who else might be in this? Birkin. Could Birkin be in this? Most likely they're going to try to stick to the original, even though it's combining with Resident Evil 2. But like I said, I think it's pretty certain that Kendo's going to be there at least. Wesker, Aubrey says, might be standing there. Misfit and Cam, thanks for the super chats. How would Resident Evil 3 be like Revelations? Moon's Donuts, the diner down on the bottom there, and see all the handprints on there. We're spending way too much time on this concept art. And then the Bob's Big Boy thing. What does the movie theater say? I always look for little things on here. And some you can find clues to things that might be in the game eventually through the concept art, but nothing seemed to really pop out on that. All right, this is what everybody's talking about now. The enemies. We got to see a bunch of new enemies, possibly 3 or 4 new enemies, and we'll talk about why next. So this, I believe, is the Drain Demon. I don't know if it's supposed to be called the Drain Demon, and I don't know why it's called that. I feel like I looked it up, and they said it was supposed to be called Demon. I don't know. The other thing people think this is the spider, because it looks like it's crawling out of something, and that could be the big back sack of a spider. But I think there's just nests, and as somebody mentioned in the comments there, the electrical substation has nests in the top. We saw those in the screenshot, and inside has things growing, and I believe these things are going to live in the walls almost, so maybe they can kind of transfer to different areas and will pop out of the wall, so you won't even see them there. And that's the concept art or the drawing of those things. A lot of people are looking at these concepts or these drawings and comparing, but we really want to look at the actual thing because it doesn't look like that in the real game. So let's look at the real game. That's what it looks like. It's got the 2 pincers in the front. This one's kind of got the pincers, and it looks like they're making this more like a wasp or something like that, and they're trying to differentiate. So I played tonight. I played against the Drain Demos and against the Brain Suckers. I think in the original game they're the same exact model and creature. They just like changed the skin of it. I think that's how it worked. So in the new game, I think they're going to differentiate their moves and their styles more than they did in the original. And yeah, so it looks a little skinnier, probably faster, and like I said, maybe it can go through the walls. But yeah, people still think it's a brain sucker. But here, I'll change your mind here after we take a quick look at some gameplay. From the original. And I don't think there's any sound. Da, 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 da. And you can see that they have that move where they jump, and then they have that move where they get on all fours and kind of run at you. And the brain suckers have the exact same moves. And then this is what I believe to be the brain sucker. And again, people are looking at this creature and saying it can't be that. Again, they're going to be redesigning these things. And that's what it looks like in the game. See the colors, green and I mean the colors are the same. It's basically a drain demo with a armor shell on it in the original, and that's why you had a drain demo, and then it looks like it's kind of like one with an armored shell. So that's why I'm pretty sure that this is the brain sucker, and the colors match. Yeah, throw that art out the window and look at the regular game, and I think you can kind of see the thickness of it. And this one looks kind of like they've redesigned it to be like a praying mantis or something like that. So yeah, I think they've changed it to like a wasp and a praying mantis. But this guy's also coming out of a wall too. So, and you can kind of see in the background there's these webs everywhere. So maybe they're going to pop out as well. Maybe they will be similar to the other things. Maybe they'll actually reveal in the game through notes or whatever that it's an advanced version of it. I think it looks more different. 1, 2, 3, 4 legs showing there. Yeah, this one looks like it has more hind legs and front legs. Anyway, so tomorrow we should find out, because I have a feeling there's going to be a Capcom blog article, and it tells us exactly who these enemies are. So we won't have to wait long to find out. And also, stay tuned tomorrow night, because we'll probably do another episode. And you know, our trailer breakdowns are the best. We see the most stuff. And this is the Brain Sucker gameplay. And yeah, they kind of do the same thing there. And that's how terrible those pallets are, by the way, in the original. It's almost impossible to freaking hit them. You can see they're just like the drain guys. Climbing on walls, that's the other thing in the original. Both things are climbing on the walls in the screenshots we have. And the lickers climbed on the walls and stuff too, so maybe it's kind of based on the lickers. Demon with the $10 super chat. Oh, you son of a gun. I'm gonna Demon, ban yourself. All right, and then yeah, so this is something we found this year, and you can check the date and timestamp of when this video came out versus others. But also, people found this 20 years ago. I discovered something from 20 years ago. So you didn't discover it? That's like, well, isn't that like Columbus discovered America? Like it was already discovered. Anyway. Yeah, so the eggs, the egg babies. That's an interesting thing. Do you guys I don't think they're going to like lay little eggs and stuff like that, but you never know if they're going to copy the original. I think they think this is pretty interesting that people are discovering it 20 years later. Um, some of these video, like this video and the other video I did, they got shared a lot, and I think they kind of became a little more outside the Resident Evil community. People finding out about this old secret, and again, people have discovered it. I found people who found that all the time on GameFAQs and these other websites. Just nobody made a video about it, so I didn't find crap. All right, so now everybody's favorite part here. It's this guy. And this is where the most controversy happens. I saw some people still tweeting that they saw a spider and they brain suckers are the demos and stuff like that. So, yeah, tomorrow we'll maybe find out. So, I originally thought this was the Gravedigger, which is the worm boss from Resident Evil 3. Then, because these images are so dark, then I notice, wait a minute, he's got legs. Then I see a tail, and I'm like, wait a minute, the Gravedigger thing is a worm. This can't be that. And then I'm like, oh, wait, it walks like a hunter, and it has a tail like a hunter, and it's got warts, and it's like an amphibian. The hunter Gamma is human fertilized and with a fertilized amphibian egg. And it's kind of like a frog and a toad. And look, you can see warts on that one over there. And they kind of have warty skin. And this guy's got warts. But this guy's only got 2 legs. And these guys have fins. Or not fins. Webbed feet, webbed hands. And this guy, well, we don't know what he has. And he's got a little fin on the top, too. So is it a shark? Is it a worm? Is it a hunter Gamma? Is it a new enemy? Is it a combo of all those things? Let's take a look at the hunter Gammas from the game, the actual game, and you can see they look like a frog, but they got that face. You know what I'm saying? And this is something I just noticed today. When the water empties, they still stand there, but watch his mouth. His mouth opens because now they're like alive, but they're just not woke. They just didn't wake up yet, but they're kind of alive. But you can see that one of the key traits to these guys is that they jump just like a hunter. So they are built off of the hunter in game, and the new creature we saw is not going to be based on the hunter. It doesn't look like at all. And did you guys know that you could get eaten by these frog things? Also, people get really mad when you call them frog hunters, but whatever. Sorry, I didn't research the entire Resident Evil lore and memorize the strain of virus. I want to call it a frog hunter. All right, so let's now look at something from the Resident Evil 3. Let's watch it first, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so that part right there is showing the evolution. So here's how the grave worm happens. Those little tiny worms are actually baby gravediggers, and they become that giant worm that we see that's the boss. And according to the online wiki thing, it takes place in a matter of hours, so they grow into those things, which is kind of weird to think because there were like 10 of those worms in each of the rooms, and they would all become those giant things. And so this is why people now think this is the Gravedigger, because you saw in that previous video when the Gravedigger opens his mouth, he's got 4 sides to it. But it also looks like it's a progression of image, this image, then this image, he's closer, and then boom, he opens his mouth. Some people are saying that you can see the tail in the back and stuff. Some people are saying it's far away. I don't quite believe that. And then the other thing is, see this guy's mouth? It doesn't have 4. It doesn't open up 4 ways, you know? It only has a slit in the center, like a regular mouth. But the top part could just be a covering, and inside that covering, there's the 4 mouth. And that's actually what I think is happening there. I think the skin off of the top mouth and the skin off of the bottom mouth move, and inside is a 4-way mouth. That's what I am thinking right now, and this is what I'm thinking. Again, I don't know. We'll probably find out tomorrow, but this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's sliding worms. They morph into the thing in the middle. That's why it has the Gravedigger mouth, and then it turns eventually into that, so these things might be Gravedigger babies. But that's just a guess. It could be some kind of hunter. It could be a new creature. It could be some kind of shark thing. It could be a combination of the both. But that's just because, again, that third image, I'm wrong all the time. I just feel like that third image there is in the same spot as the other thing. Somebody said maybe there's 2 enemies, maybe the Gravedigger, and then one of those roly-polies is behind it. I don't know. I think the mouth size looks about the same size. I kind of think that. What do you guys think here? Joel says he agrees. A lot of talk about STDs. It's always good for a Resident Evil chat. Leon says better design than the original. Yeah, now the leg thing. Why would it grow? Why would it evolve into legs and then devolve into a worm? Yeah, that's where the theory has holes. Bill says it would make sense for the Gamma to have the new mouth to swallow you. Okay, yeah. So that's the other thing from earlier when I showed you the frog eating Leon. He was eating him like, oh. Maybe these new hunter style things. Yeah, I mean they look like a dinosaur, and hunters are like dinosaurs. I don't know. I think it's a hunter again. Yeah. I'd just like them to tell me tomorrow so I can stop changing my mind. One second it's a hunter, next second it's a Gravedigger, next second it's a new creature. Some people think it's a shark. But I don't know. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow. And here's just a close-up of the Gravedigger boss in the original. And in the FMV movie, you know, the cutscene, it's like a huge worm. And then in the game, it's like smaller. So it'd be interesting to see how large they go. And you know the Resident Evil teams, they try to go as large as possible. Who knows how big the final could be. And let's just take a quick look at it live in action. And just, yeah, the mouth is just so similar to that mouth that we saw with the 4 different things. I mean, not so similar. It just has 4 points to it. But those little creatures also have these teeth, and when that big thing opens its mouth, it has small teeth on the side, but also Gravedigger has small teeth. And I tried to get the thing to eat me, and I guess it doesn't do that. Does anybody know if there's a death screen where the Gravedigger actually swallows Jill? And again, you can continue on Facebook and Instagram, and there's a lot of awesome people commenting and having discussions on Where's Barry B, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and yeah, go there, go argue with each other. Don't be mean to each other. And I'm reading all the arguments and on both sides. I don't have time to comment on every single one, but I'm reading most of them. And there's a lot of good points on both sides of to what the other thing is. So this is the part where now we got to talk about what are the things that are missing now. Spiders are still missing, unless you think that thing before was a spider. And the crows are missing, and I tweeted something today because, like, listen, I'll be happy if there's more enemies. If crows are in it, it's absolutely cool. They're a cool Resident Evil thing from the beginning. They're one of the scariest ones. I love the movie The Birds, Alfred Hitchcock. Resident Evil 1, the crows were always scary because I didn't know, do you have to walk? If you run, do they chase you? Like, what's going on? But if they're not in the game, oh well, they're not in the game. But some people are like, their whole life is about seeing a crow in the Resident Evil world. And there weren't crows in Resident Evil 2. There were in the original, but not in, right? Yeah, in that. Were they only in one room in the original? I kind of feel like crows were only in one room in the original RE2. So they didn't make it. And then RE3, what else do we got? The dogs, we've seen them in the engine, so they might be back. Lickers could potentially be there because it takes place in the same area that Lickers were seen in the middle of the game. We've already got the zombies there. Oh man, my screen froze. And quite at a weird spot. Demon with the $5 super chat. Crows for life. Straight murder. Yeah, I was going to type something about murder, and then I was like, people won't understand it. How do I fix this? All right, we're back. And we're back. Thanks, chat, for letting me know. God, that was... Look how red my face just got after seeing that. So are you guys like super upset about oh, did the music go back on when I pressed that? Are you guys super upset about the crows or not really, or what do y'all think? What else is there? Yeah, I guess if we don't know if we've seen the Gravedigger or not. Just Nemesis is different forms, I guess, would be something else we might have to see. And the army of Mr. X's. I'd love to see that, at least in a cutscene. So. And we still don't know if there's going to be randomization. I feel like it's not, but we still don't know. Sam says, I didn't care that the moth was missing from RE2. The moth that just stands there, and I don't even know if it can do damage to you. You just shoot it like 3 times and it's dead. HR Zone says we're getting more than we did in Resident Evil 2, so he's cool. Crispin's excited for the new weapons. Yeah, so it's hard to predict what they're going to show tomorrow, but I feel like we've already seen it, and they might just show advanced on that. So I don't know if we're going to see new weapons tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to see any new enemies we didn't see today. Oh, here's the other thing that the PlayStation article guy said. He said you're going to go into the sewers and fight worms. In the part that he saw, he said he saw them go into the sewer to fight worms. And then in his retraction article that he didn't say that he messed up in, he mentioned sliding worms are in the game again. And so I don't know. I am really hoping they're not in the game. And then he pretends that he meant those circle glob things were the sliding worms. But they might be in the game. I hold bizarre grudges. I did a whole video on that magazine article because it had quotes from the developer, and then I look like an idiot. I had to delete my video because I look like a dummy when I'm like, it says Umbrella Core is or whatever. What's it called? Resistance is canon. The article says. I actually didn't put that in my thing, but I put the mercenary mode thing in there, which who knows, probably true, but I think he just guessed it. Okay, so yeah, so that was all the new screenshots, all the new concept art, and then these are the ones that Capcom threw the social media team so that people would stop annoying them. And I looked at the comments and people were like, "Who cares? It's a Subway. Where's Resident Evil 4 remake? Who cares? It's a Subway. Where's the crows? We need more crows. I must have crows. If I don't see crows." So they showed us the subway here. We already kind of saw the inside. They showed us the civilians kind of helping each other in the street. That's actually a question that is going to be different from the Resident Evil 2 remake. I think a lot of the gameplay is going to be similar, but this is one that will be different, is that there's going to be some non-playable characters running around the city. I don't think you'd be able to help them. I don't even know if they'll be in live action. In Resident Evil 6, remember Chris like opens the door and there's like a camera crew of non-playable characters like walking around, and you can kind of bump into them and stuff. I don't know if you'd be able to do that, or these are going to be cutscenes. This might be from the beginning where it just kind of sweeps through the city, and then the gameplay that we saw, the 25 seconds of gameplay, starts with civilians running, but that's all in the cutscene part, and then once you go live, the civilians are cleared off the screen, so you can't like interact or bump into them. So that's a question that we'll have to find out later. Is this just cutscenes? Are they going to be in our way, or are they just going to be in the background kind of thing? We see him in where Brad is, but that's a cutscene. And then this was the one that they posted today, which shows us that alley where the liquor store is that we've seen, and shows somebody running. I don't know. In the original trailer, somebody runs out of the liquor store and down this alley that I think is Dario, that we talked about in previous episodes. And that's it for today. So what other things are you guys trying to find out tomorrow? What do you think is going to happen when the things are released? Stay tuned to all these places tomorrow. I know everybody has all the different things, so when the screenshots or whatever comes out, everybody's going to be posting them. But I don't think people look at them as closely as we do on this channel. So be sure you check out this channel tomorrow and our social media. And especially the discussion below anything that's tweeted. Right now, the Twitter is focused on important things, a couple jokes here and there. We're not selling shirts. We don't have like we don't list our I don't list when I'm streaming, which is maybe people say is dumb. I try to make it so that every post is some kind of relevance or humor to it, so you don't have to be worried about getting a lot of random stuff at this point in time. And then Facebook is just a cool growing community. We basically just started doing the Facebook the last couple months, and everybody's commenting like crazy on that, so it's a cool one. I know you guys are in these other Resident Evil Facebook groups like Resident Evil Veterans and Biohazard Classified and some other ones, so come check out Where's Barry on there. Yeah, so tonight we're all going to be paying attention. I'm gonna be looking on Famitsu. If you guys want to look on there, look on Reddit. People love to post on Reddit first. That's one of the first spots people post before it hits the social media stuff. So yeah, check out the Resident Evil Reddit. The people that run that, and they're pretty cool, nice people. And yeah, tomorrow we'll do another episode. Unless nothing comes out, which is also a possibility. Tomorrow it could just be some screenshots, but I think there's going to be articles from big sites like IGN, Famitsu. 10 minutes of gameplay, 5 minutes of gameplay. Yeah, Reddit's not always accurate, but you can figure it out pretty quickly. You can trace back what happens there. Yes, never believe anything you see on a tweet or thing. Always look deeper into it. But that'll give you a hint. But if there's a new trailer or new something or new Famitsu thing, like it'll have a link back to like a real source. And let's see what else was there. By the way, thanks Cam for the super chat as well. The 2 super chats, and welcome to all the new subscribers, Juan and Matt and everybody else who subscribed. Be sure to click the thumbs up before you head out. And yeah, oh yeah, the demo. That's the last part. So the Resident Evil 2 remake demo came out January 11th, and the game came out January 24th. So it was like 14 days in advance, or January 25th. So 14 days in advance, and I think the demo might take a similar path this time. And again, tomorrow, if there's gameplay, that might be the demo we get. When Resident Evil 2 Remake was released, they released gameplay day 1, and it was the demo that we got, basically. So we actually knew the demo. I knew every item in the demo. 7-8 months before it came out or whatever. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Be friendly to each other. Have arguments about what the enemies are, but don't be D's. And I will catch you later, evil dudes. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye, Amanda.